All right, here we are with one of my favorite books the year this came out. It's been a while. It's called Aama, I think, or Aama by Frederik Peeters. And this is volume 1. I think there's 6 volumes of it, but this is one of my favorite books the year this came out. And let's see what year. It's published by Self-Made Hero, small publisher, I think. And let's see, there's no copyright info, so let's check out the copyright. First published in the UK 2013, so 2011, originally in French, French creator, I believe. I don't know too much about him. This is the first book I read of his. He did another graphic novel, Elephant, and then another one where M. Night Shyamalan's new movie was based on it. It's also a good book. But yeah, this Aama, it's great science fiction. I love, let's see if I can get it without glare, but I really love his art and the color. And like, it just starts out, you're in the middle of this, you have no idea why he's here in the crater. I just love his art and his layouts. It's very, very sort of understated. It's not super flashy. Let's see. And see, I'm gonna put this under there to get less glare. But yeah, I love very simple grid, 3-tier grid, which is my favorite way to work. And he follows it for most of the series. Again, we just start off, and then we get this great character. It's great character design, human legs, gorilla body, talks. It's probably one of my favorite things about this book. It's just this crazy gorilla character, and then great spaceship design and art. And then great, go back to the city. I just love the layouts. Aren't flashy, it's very simple, but then within the layouts you just get great stuff. It kind of, like, this reminds me of like an old EC comic, the way he's inking it and the way it's laid out. And the colors, just like very simple, flat colors telling the story. Let me get a little flashback here. I won't go into the story too much, but again, I like the limited palette when he's showing flashbacks, or, you know. And then just all the drawing, super great. I don't want to spoil too much about this. It's one of those books where you don't, I think it's like 6 volumes, and then you don't really know what's fully happening until the end, and then it gets kind of crazy. But a lot of good little sci-fi touches, a lot of world building. Yeah, I just love the colors. The shifts from yellows to greens, inside, exterior, interior. It's very dreamlike too, very surreal in places, but also grounded enough that you don't feel too lost. Again, still following that 3-tier grid, and he'll split it up here with a couple panels when there's some back and forths. Just great use of space. And then color as well, shifting of the scenes. You could just flip through this whole book and study the color and how he's using it. A lot of pinks and purples here. This kind of reminds me of a little bit of Bill Crabtree's style. One of my favorite colorists. And just really great sci-fi, but a lot of psychological stuff going on with the 2 brothers. He does the sci-fi really great, and then just the people and the down-to-earth stuff. Just blends. He's able to do both really well. And then they get to this crazy planet, and then they're figuring it out. And And this is what I miss. This is what I miss in a lot of modern comics. Just the 3-panel progression as he's sort of adjusting to the atmosphere and the gravity. And doesn't do it with words, just shows it, takes the time to show it. A lot of great scenery, some great texture here with the inking, and then they have little sci-fi umbrellas. And just great with the rain showing the texture, and then again the color being more subdued. I love rain and reflections. One of the best ones being the Watchmen cover, Dave Gibbons' Watchmen cover. Again, flashback and some backstory. Color shifts again from, they're on a different planet, so depending on where they are, they're shifting from these sort of blues and greens to earth tones. Awesome. And then they're trying to find out what happened to the people that were here. They lost track of them, and then they sort of find them, and then start to slowly get some of the mystery of what's going on. Classic sci-fi where they send a team in to find out what happened to the team before, which is one of my favorite setups for a story. This one pays it off pretty good. I don't think any spoilers. If you don't pause it to read it, you should be all right. It's great. I just love these silent panels every once in a while. Sets the mood. Again, limited color palette, depending on what scene it is. Pinks and browns. And then love the sound effects, hand drawn in the art. And then look at so we've gone from 3-panel grid, the whole way, and then it starts to fracture here as things go sideways. Then we get four-tier grid, and it starts to fracture as things go wrong. And then again, not just 4 tiers, 5 tiers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 tiers now as it starts to break up. Not just the amount of tiers, but the panel layouts. And then we start to come back out of it, and then we go back to the 3-tier grid as things settle down. Just super subtle, you know, using comics for all they're worth. It's the beauty. I think that's what keeps me doing comics, is like there's so many things you have to balance: layout, panel size, panel count, words, pictures. Again, great reflections, world building, a little bit of weird sci-fi. And then a great character back and forth, a lot of little panels. Love this interaction. And then great, love ending a chapter on a silent panel, and you just see that gorilla, sort of ominous. Anyway, this is a great book. I recommend this series. I think there's 6 books. This is volume 1. Hopefully I didn't spoil anything for you, but one of my favorite books of this year. All right, thanks for watching, and like it, subscribe to it, and in the comments put what books you'd like me to talk about. I've been reading a lot of stuff, a lot of Jack Kirby, a lot of manga. So if you want me to talk about some of that, let me know if there's something specific. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.